Good afternoon. Lorraine Martin here with Wellness Gathering, and we're continuing on with the presentation of ownership with the principles of core alignment. And today we're going to focus on the letter N of ownership, and it's nurturing. So I'll pass it over to my daughter, Lynn, to facilitate this meeting.
All right, thank you. Awesome. Well, it's nurturing is a big subject, and I guess with what you were saying, Dawn Marie, about taking care of ourselves in the midst of caring for others, right? It's a good subject to focus on, and I think as women or females, that's one of the things we do naturally, and we really get so much from giving to others, but there's that place where giving to ourselves is really sort of the first and foremost, and then it's easier to give to others. And if I am giving to others, I'm getting it back. I think that's really the beauty of the feminine. So we're going to start with a question. We always start with a question that anyone, anywhere, anytime can answer. And the question I'm going to start with today is, what is something you do for yourself? So my name is Lynne, and I'm in Calgary, Alberta. And something that I do for myself. Well, I do a lot of things for myself, but I really like to, receive some sort of body work. Maybe it's because I've been in the industry for many, many years, and have seen the value of either massage or acupuncture or chiropractic, anything that where my body can receive through touch. And that's something that I do for myself. And I know that anytime I have invested I've invested a lot of my resources in self-care, but for me, it feels like it's the best investment that I can make, because it pays itself back in the pleasure that I get from it and how it connects me to my body. Hello, Olive.
Hello.
Good to see you. We're just going around. So the question for today is, tell us something you do for yourself.
Something I do for myself, I think, is exercise. I kind of neglected my exercise during our COVID years, and now I'm back at my gym doing a balance class and a tone class and Zumba. That's what I do for myself.
Awesome. Exercise is one of those things that definitely gets the blood flowing, hey?
your mind and your soul.
Exactly. Clears the clutter.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Dawn Marie?
I do a little bit of both of those.
Say your name, say where you are.
Sorry, I'm Dawn Marie, and I am from Sacramento, California. And what I do to keep myself grounded, I guess, is to I exercise, 3 times a week, and I incorporated acupuncture about 2 years ago, and I'm so glad that I was turned on to that, because it definitely has made a difference in my healing process. In 2 rear-end car accidents and injured my back, and so that with some other modalities have helped me to stand up straight and keep moving. I do a little bit of devotion in the mornings to just kind of get myself centered before I go and embrace other people, either on Zoom or telephone calls, so that I can keep myself in check. And that's pretty much what I do, and try to eat a healthy diet as much as I can. It's just me, so sometimes I eat whatever I want, but then I have to get back to, wait a minute, I better start eating healthy again. I'm starting to feel this roll around my tummy. Get back on that healthy regime.
Awesome. Lorraine?
Okay, I'm Lorraine, I'm in Osoyoos, British Columbia. Something I do for myself, well, listen, um, I really am very conscious of making sure I'm eating the right foods and taking my nutritionals and getting enough sleep. That's very important to me. And, and just um, adjusting to mind thought too. I think being um, with a lot of information coming in, you really got to sort it out and make sure you're thinking the most positive way and make it really reflect back. I really reflect back to who I really am and where my purpose in life, and that is just to be as healthy as I can.
Awesome. It's cool. Well, we're going to be speaking about nurturing. And nurturing comes in many forms, mind, body, heart. So I'd like to kind of look at what we do naturally easy. And this naturally easy concept comes from the core alignment and emotional wisdom training work that was developed by Kate Michaels. And the natural easy conversation was really about looking at those things that we do easily with no effort. So what is something that you do easily with no effort? Lorraine?
Well, make meals. Personal care, brush my teeth. Um, um,
Well, you've always made meals with no effort.
I, yes, yeah. But I think just looking after my personal self, getting up and getting my teeth brushed and my hair combed and put my Mary Kay on. And I do that with ease. It's just sort of a natural thing. It's a routine I have, and it's to get my day started. Yeah. And smiling at myself in the mirror and says, gee, you look good.
Awesome. Having that pleasure first, right?
That's right.
Meeting ourselves first, I think, is a really important thing. Olive, what about you? What is something that you do that requires no effort?
I'm going to say walking. I get out and do a bit of walking, not always a lot. Sometimes it's just 20 minutes, but I just spent a weekend with some relatives of all ages, and many of them that are younger than I am are having trouble walking already. So I'm quite appreciative of the fact that walking is still something I can do easily.
Awesome. Yeah. Dawn Marie?
A little noisy on my patio right now. Can you hear the background?
No, it's good. It's good.
One of the things that I do is that's very easy is I just started listening to my body. When I eat, when my tummy feels full, I stop. I don't just try to complete everything that's on my plate. I listen to what my body is saying. And when it's time to go to bed, 10:30, my body says it's time to go to bed. So I listen to it. And I feel like, I get 7 or 8 hours worth of sleep because I do that. So just listening to my body is one of the things that I'm really focusing on, I'm paying attention to.
That's some, well, something that I do that requires no effort. I feel like something that I do that requires no effort is I kind of flow with what's happening around me. And part of it has to do with how I'm listening to my body and how I'm listening to the things that are important that are around me. But as time has gone on, and as I've put more attention on myself, I've found that to flow more with the way things are, those things that aren't important have fallen away. And so I've been really grateful for that. It almost feels like a cleansing in some ways, that I've been able to put more attention on myself, what's important, and then I'm able to flow. So it's important for me to flow through my days. And so when I look at that, that was one of the things I didn't recognize about myself like 10 years ago until somebody pointed out to me. Having a struggle, I will move my body in some way. And so that's something that I think I've probably known as a child. I used to, when I was very small, I figure skated. And I had a cousin who I really admired at a very small age. And I just remember being able to skate on the ice and do spins. And I mean, I never really took it anywhere, but that was always, I think it started back then. So what was something you liked to do when you were young? Lorraine?
Oh, something I liked to do when I was young. I think in the summertime, I loved running barefoot in the grass on the farm and make playhouses with my girlfriend in the maple trees along the garden and then up into the loft of the barn. And that was a lot of fun. That was at my very young age. And yeah, I think those kind of things, just being in nature and outside and laying down the grass and looking at the clouds in the summertime.
Mm. Awesome. Running barefoot in the grass. Eh? There's nothing like that. We were actually able to do that these last few days. It wasn't that cold that it's been cutting up and down cold, weird weather here, but there's nothing like walking through the morning grass and feeling the coolness of the the dew. So how about you, Olive?
I'd have to say about the same things as Lorraine. I grew up in a bushy part of the province, and one of the things that I look forward to every day in the summer was playing in the trees. I don't know, there's a lot of wood ticks in that part of the country now. I don't know if I'd still be playing in the trees, but we would make little forts and we'd set up little kitchens, and there always seemed to be a junk pile somewhere where you could retrieve old pieces of dishes and pots, and we had a whole little world of our own, and we could be out there until we got hungry, it seemed. we were pretty free.
Dawn Marie, what was something you enjoyed when you were young?
Something that I liked to do when I was young was roller skate. We would put on our roller skates and skate up and down the sidewalk and just, see who could roller skate the fastest, and just being on those two wheels on your skates, just trying to go as fast as you could. And I think about that, and riding a bike just to me was the utmost exciting thing, because I could just feel like I was in my own little world and just felt free to be me. I thought about that when you asked that, riding my bike and roller skating as a child.
And that freedom, it's like all of these are very much that freedom to just be ourselves, right?
Right.
And I think that goes with looking at the things that are naturally easy. And I think with naturally easy, it does provide that nurturance, and that, I think all of our life should be naturally easy. I'm kind of striving to bring more naturally easy. Didn't have them before, but sometimes there was just a lot of pushing, a lot of driving. So when have you been doing things that are naturally easy? Olive?
When have I been doing things naturally easy? Did naturally easy things this weekend with all my family. big group of people. There are 100 people there, based on all the activities, and things just naturally came together. Different families were assigned duties. Everybody did their bit. Nobody shirked their duties. We had kind of a standing rule. If you prepared the meal, you didn't have to clean up after. Nobody seemed to object to that. Yeah, it was just a naturally easy flow.
Cool.
So that was good.
What about you, Lorraine?
Well, that's a
When have
big
you
question.
been doing things?
The-
I know,
when-
I know. When have
when-
you been doing things naturally easy?
Getting ready for bed. That's naturally easy. Or sitting in the chair watching the boob tube.
Cool.
Oh, dear. That's nothing specific, really.
Yeah. What about you, Dawn Marie?
I would have to say, the things that I've been doing that are naturally easy for me is cooking for my sister. She is having some health challenges, and so she's not able to stand in the kitchen or stand at the stove and prepare her meals. And so, once a week I try to go over and prepare a meal that'll last her a couple of days. And it takes me back to, when I was cooking for my family and just standing in the kitchen and preparing a meal, and all those skills and the resources that I use, they all just come back. And even though she wants me to do it a certain way for her, which, she's the one that's got to eat it, but I still want to add my naturally easy techniques to it to make it, a little bit more tastier. And I feel sometimes we're butting heads, and then I have to tell myself, wait a minute, I'm not eating this. She's the one that's eating this. So I need to do it how she wants it to be done. So
Cool.
I enjoy that, even though she's very adamant about what she wants, but it gives.
Yes. So when I think of, doing things naturally easy lately, I've been able to take care of myself more naturally easy amongst my family and all the demands that might drop in out of nowhere, and without getting sort of my internal flame all riled up for no reason, just because it's shocked me out of my stupor or something. So I noticed it particularly on the weekend. I think I was sharing with you last week, one daughter and her friend are down east and have never been to Toronto. And well, needless to say, they had some challenges, and I got a phone call, and it was like, but I just took it in my stride. Like, it's like I didn't get all fired up, and I was going, wow, I can actually, receive, the life's ups and downs so much more easily than I did before.
Right.
And so, I think that's when I think of nurturing and how we do things more naturally easy, and bringing that naturally easy flow into our lives, then the nurturing and the caring for myself can be easier. And what I've found is that the more I care for myself, like I actually took the last 3 days, and over the weekend, I actually booked myself into a training that was all about receiving in my body. And so from 10 till 5, it was just about me. And I took that time away, and everything else has gone more naturally easy. So what are you more aware of now when you consider nurturing and the things you do naturally easy? Dawn Marie?
Well, I would have to say doing what I want to do when I want to do it. It's just me. And so I wrestle with, okay, should I go meditate right now, or should I go read right now? But I'm finding that if I just maybe get up a little bit earlier I was wrestling with that for a while too, is not wanting to get up so early. But if I get up a little bit early, I could start off by reading and then going and doing my meditation and then going to do my exercise. So I'm just finding that if I'm not so structured with it and I allow it to just happen, I still get the job done. So it's becoming a little bit more easy.
Awesome. Olive, what are you more aware of now?
I think I'm more aware of looking after my own health and fitness. It's not always been a priority in my life, and it is now. That's what I'm more aware of.
How about you, Lorraine?
What am I aware of? Is awareness of nurturing? Is that
When
the
you look at
question?
Well, with nurturing and how you do things more naturally, easily,
Well,
the things you do naturally.
Well, I think every day is the day that you just there's a routine that you do, and of what I do, and it keeps me flowing and grounded, and if I don't feel like doing it, I'll just sit and think about it. But nothing is really urgent, and but it's just being that a light feeling of just being able to do the necessary things to look after one's body and mind from day to day.
In that natural, easy way, hey?
Mhm.
Yeah, so what I'm more aware of now is that, I don't know, there's just sort of this pause that I'm aware of. If I really pause and tune into where I'm at in the moment, that I think that natural, easy flow starts to come through, and I start to feel that nurturing in me. And then, I think it plays into like what you were saying, Dawn Marie, around listening to my body more easily, like just, just taking that moment to pause and go, if I just put my attention here right now and rest in that, somehow something more naturally, easily flows out. So that's what I'm aware of. So what will you take with you from our conversation today that will support you until we talk again? Olive?
I think I will take with me until we speak again is the need to look after your own health and well-being, your own mental health, spiritual health, and physical health.
Got it. Dawn Marie?
What I will take away with doing things until we meet again is just letting it be easy. Don't put a lot of pressure on myself and trying to make it happen, just allowing it to happen. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, great too. And just keep it moving. So that's what I'm going to work on this week.
Awesome. Awesome. Lorraine?
What will I take away from this conversation until we meet again is, just go with the flow. Where your explanation, Lynne, was very excellent. Is just to tune in and don't sweat over the small stuff.
Yes.
Well, and I take away that trust, that as well as this trust in our bodies, and that I don't know, it just reiterates sort of that deeper listening and that pause, that pleasure pause. That's what I call it. It's like just a moment of tuning in to our own pleasure, giving that to myself first. Because if I don't do that, then there's not much of me to give to anyone else. So, so that's what I take. So what will you take with you that'll support you for the rest of your life? Lorraine?
Okay, what will I take away that will support me the rest of my life? I think it's just appreciating things that have to be are necessary, and just making sure that I'm on track every day and I don't fester over small things.
Mhm, mhm,
Awesome.
mhm.
Olive?
I will take away the need to look after yourself so that you can look after others. And to just go with the flow. Don't try and schedule every minute of your day, and be flexible. Thing-
I think we're frozen.
For
Yes, it is. It is. Oh, it is
My
that
internet,
taking that moment. Sorry.
my internet was
You okay?
cut out and it just came back. So everybody was frozen. I've had problems all day with it. So go ahead, Lynn.
Okay. Did you go, Mom?
Pardon
What
me?
you will take? I can't. I just lost it. Did you go with what will you take with you that'll
Yes,
support you for the rest of your life?
did. Yes, I did.
Okay, sorry. I lost track of where we were at. So what I will take with me that'll support me for the rest of my life is, yes, a lot of things. Just the natural, easy flow of being able to talk about nurturing. I mean, nurturing obviously is a big subject, and I think there's many ways to nurture ourselves. And, but I think it's like that pause, that resting back, and then and just giving myself some space before I move forward or do anything. Like even in the kitchen, I've been finding myself, it's like, what does my body really want to eat here? And what way could I bring more pleasure into cooking? Because cooking's not necessarily one of my major fortes. I mean, I can do it, but I don't necessarily go looking for it. So, but if I bring more pleasure into it and more artistic creation, I think it can be easier. So that's what I will take with me. So awesome. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah, okay, I'm good. Yeah, thank you, Lynn. And I'm sorry this recording might be not that great because of my internet, but we'll see you next week. We're going to focus on enthusiasm.